Hey, what's up? So I just wanted to share some screenshots that I've taken and talk a little bit about Zombie Army Trilogy. I finally started playing this game. I had played Zombie Army 4 on PS Plus, I think, and I was enjoying it. I think this maybe a few months ago, several months to a year, I'm not sure. It was a little while ago. I was playing that. And I enjoyed it. I was having fun. I thought it was cool. I wasn't fully in the mood to keep playing it, so I didn't. But then I don't remember why. I came across this. I saw it like really cheap on a key website, so I was like, I want to pick that up. I really don't remember why, but I picked it up, started playing it. I just picked it up because it was cheap, and I was like, oh, I'll get that at that price. And $3, and I was like, hell yeah. Anyway, so I started playing it, and I've been really enjoying it. I have the kill cam thing on like the highest setting, so it happens like every 3 kills I'm getting, and at least every other 3 kills, like I'll get a kill cam. Sometimes I'll get like 3 in a row, like kill cam, kill cam, kill cam, kill cam, kill cam. Like those are cool. Those are interesting. It's funny. I like them though. Like it's cool. The visuals are gorgeous, man. I was looking. I was looking for some reason to see when Part 4 came out, and I was just curious because I assumed this was a newer game because I think the visuals are just stunning, right? Like I think it's a really good looking game. Came out in 2015, so just to me it looks like a new game. I know, whatever. It's just that beautiful. It's that good looking. So, oh, I forgot. Damn it. I had to do display capture for this, so I can't bring up my notes on the screen. But, anyway, so yeah, I mean, games that are 10 years old can still be gorgeous. I know that I've had that experience for my entire gaming life, which has been, 40 years. So, I am used to games being beautiful for a long time, but it's not all of them. Some of them last a long time. Like Infamous Second Son, for example, was like a launch title on the PS4, still completely gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely impressive, amazing stuff. But yeah, so I'm not surprised that a game can look good 10 years later, and even more than that. But I was surprised that this game was older, because I'm impressed by it, man. Like I am really impressed by the visuals in this game. It's really very pretty. The environment, the atmosphere, the atmosphere really in the environment is like really like the fog and stuff, and the way it moves, the clouds, the sky, man. It's really impressive. Like the lighting and the shadows. It's so nice. It's really good stuff. So I am planning to eventually. Like I haven't beat this yet. Oh yeah, that's I do have a couple things to talk about. I forgot. Like one of them being is how to play it. I am experiencing performance issues, specifically just related to like apparently it's not optimized for higher end PCs for some reason. I don't know. It's weird. I came across a bunch of stuff on the forums and I found a fix for it that actually worked for me. I was surprised because I've come across many fixes, over many years, and a lot of fixes don't work for everybody. But they're worth trying. You still got to try them, right? Like if something ain't working for you, you got to try what you come across. But a lot of them don't work all the time. So anyways, for this specific game, I had to disable cores, CPU cores for it. And I was like, I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to mess with computer stuff. It's really easy though. Although I don't even know if I'm disabling the right ones. They do tell you're supposed to find out which cores to turn off. But so far, I've just disabled anything past 8 cores because that's what was recommended on the forums. Somebody had mentioned like this game, for some reason, if you have it running on more than 8 cores, it will crash. It won't, it'll freeze and crash and stuff, and there's just nothing you can do about it. So yeah, so I found out how to disable cores, and I do that. I just leave the first 8 on and then just disable everything after that. But it might be better if I were to actually figure out which cores to turn off. But whatever, man. I'm glad I'm able to play it though. But I do have to do that every time I start up. I usually have to force close the game once just to get it to properly work or whatever. But I'm glad to be able to play it because like the first time I booted this game up, I played like half an hour to an hour before it started freezing and crashing. and I was really into it, man. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then it started crashing a bunch. It just started freezing, crashing like every time I turned it on, and I was like, what the hell? So I went and looked it up on the forums and found out that it was like a normal issue for higher end like CPUs for whatever reason. They have a reason, they explained it and stuff, but I don't. I'm just like, okay, whatever. So that's dumb. But yeah, so that's weird and dorky. That's always annoying. It's really annoying. Computers are whack, yo. I'd rather play console, but there is more. Yeah, the main thing is you won't. The graphics will always be better on PC. Depending, right? You know, I have said for many years, like depending on the game, like especially exclusives, like exclusive games like Uncharted or God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, they tend to be almost on par with the PC versions, but there is always going to be better like detail and shadows and stuff on PC, 99% of the time, you know. But yeah. So there's that. That's the only like I think it's funny because like I've told people over the years, I'm like, I notice the small details. I can tell when it depends on the game, but most games I can tell the difference instantly from switching low to medium to high settings. I can tell you I can point out every little detail that changes, because I have an attention for detail. I've been an artist. I'm not an active artist anymore, but my younger life, most of my younger life I was an artist. And I like the details. I like the shadows and the extra little shading and stuff like that. Like I notice it, I see it. So when I could, especially when it comes to shadows, for whatever reason, I don't know, I noticed this a long time ago, but for whatever reason, shadows are always like the most intense details and CPU usage too, right? It's weird. I don't like that one. I don't know why. I've never looked it up or anything to find out why are shadows like the most like important part of visuals in a game or whatever. Like if you ever noticed, you ever just change shadows in graphics settings, just change shadows, don't change anything else. Change the shadows from like low, medium, high, and you'll notice a difference every time. It's just shadows, man, just shadows. It's nuts. They add so much detail, and it's beautiful to see too, like what one small detail can do, you know. I mean, that's how it is. One tiny little detail can make a world of difference. It's pretty cool. I had another point too. Let me look up real quick my notes for this game, because I only had a few. Oh, the music, dude, the music is incredible in this game. It's so good, man. It's weird too, because in some levels, there'll be these just parts while I'm going through the levels, and it'll be like the most like soothing, beautiful music I've ever heard. But it also fits the mood of like zombie death. Like it's weird. It's so weird to hear like beautiful music with zombie death and blood and stuff. Like it's just weird and like ritualistic, satanic, like demon, you know, stuff and whatever. And you have this really pretty music going on, and they do have, of course, like the regular action music as well. But there are these parts throughout the game that just have this like super calm, beautiful, peaceful music. But at the same time, it's not zen. It's just really good music. I love it, man. The soundtrack is so good. It's so damn good. This part was cool. That's one thing. Like some of the levels, there's a few, like for the most part, I've gone through the game smoothly for the most part. But there's a couple levels here and there. They're like little parts, right? Little parts that are just really hard. They're just like, oh, this is insane. I've died a bunch. I've quit the game and come back later. So I'm like, all right, I'm done. It's a little hectic. I'm gonna take a break. Not even a rage quit, but just straight up like, you know what? This is too much for me right now. And it's not even hard. It's just harder than the rest of the game, right? Like it's just a hard spot. It's a tougher spot. This was one of them for me, anyways. This specific level was one. Also, I think mainly because like before I got to this part, I kind of mostly skipped through the level because there's a couple missions throughout the game where basically you can skip the enemies and just go to the location, because I think some of them they just keep respawning. I'm not sure because I just ran at the spot and picked up the mission and continued on. But this right before I got to this part, I was skipping enemies, and I wasn't sure if it made it this part harder, because this part by itself was just nuts, dude. It was pretty difficult. There was also a couple little flying vampire dudes, like I think 2 or 3 of them in the level as well, and they snipe down on you. So I had to figure that out. Just finding the right spot to handle them. But this was cool. And then like the machiner Nazi zombie dudes, they're kind of big. You can tell they're bulky and stuff, and they carry a gun and they're shooting it at you. Those guys are crazy. They're awesome. But what I found after a few minutes of running around in this level, I started noticing, because this was the first level for me where I noticed, like, I've seen the big hordes before, but I hadn't really had one where I had the machine guy kind of behind all the hordes and stuff. But I was like running around this level, and this dude, the machine gunner guy, was mowing down the zombies. So I was just keeping them in front of me, in between me and him, and he was just popping them off, and I was like, all right, cool. That was funny, man. It was funny. It was funny. It was cool though. But yeah, no, this game is really, really cool, man. It's a lot of fun. I don't think I played the original ones, because this is the remaster or whatever, right? Let me see what else I wrote. Not much. Okay. I wanted to make sure that I mentioned the music and the CPU core thing, which I found was interesting and annoying, having to change that. One thing that this game made me think about while I was playing it too is, just because it's so bloody and gory, and the atmosphere and environment and everything is creepy and whatever, but it reminds me of Resident Evil. It reminds me of Resident Evil, but like as an actual action game. So it made me think about it. I thought it was funny because my favorites are the originals, 1 through 3. Those are still my favorites, and 0 was similar too, and Veronica as well. But 1 through 3 were the ones that I was deep into and stuff. And then 4 happened, and I was like, eh. But yeah, no, this game just made me think, just because of the environments, the atmosphere, and everything, the mood and all that. It just reminds me of Resident Evil, and I was like, this is kind of like a Resident Evil game if it was like a full-blown action game, And I'm sure I could compare it to other stuff too. Just for me, that's my comparison, because like the horror movie or horror games for me, Resident Evil will always be like my #1 thought of. For others, it's Silent Hill, stuff like that. At the time, I didn't get deep into Silent Hill, and I wanted to, but it was funny to me. I now remember, like, I think I felt like it was kind of a cheap knockoff of Resident Evil. But I remember I tried going back again, like a few years later, or whatever, and checking it out. And I really like the story of Silent Hill. The stories in Silent Hill are really cool. I actually like the movies. I think there's 3 or 4 movies of Silent Hill. Most of them suck. They're okay, right? Like it can be entertaining, whatever. But for the most part, they're not very good. One of them, I can't remember which one it was. One of them was really good though. One of the Silent Hill movies was really good. I was like, whoa, that was good. And I can't remember which one of the ones it was. I'd probably recognize it, but I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. I just remember that one of the Silent Hill movies was just, I thought it was really good. I have no doubt other people probably thought it was crap. Yeah, anyway, so this no photo mode. I tried using the GeForce Experience, what do they call it, Ansel or whatever. I tried using GeForce Experience to get photo mode, but it doesn't work with this game. It doesn't work in everything. But with all the kill cams in the game, and the camera moves on its own. It's doing its own photo mode. It's its own built-in photo mode, which I think is funny. It's not really a photo mode, but just the whole fact that they do the kill cams and they do angles and they do all this stuff with it is pretty neat. It's pretty cool. Yeah, the environments, man, like this is crazy. Like these levels, what you walk through, the world is beautiful. It's really cool, man. Like it's really impressive. Like I've really enjoyed this game a lot. And the reason I decided to actually, I can't remember. I normally upload my screenshots to Discord now. I used to upload them to Facebook. Before that, I uploaded them somewhere else. I forget what. I used to upload screenshots to different sites. Facebook had become my main one for a while, because I was mostly using Facebook a lot at the time. And I literally had hundreds of albums with thousands of screenshots per album. Not every album, but I had hundreds of albums. Some of them had 100 screenshots or 200, maybe even a little less. But I had many of those albums had 500 to 5,000 screenshots. Spider-Man on PS4. I had like 3,000 or 4,000 screenshots. Infamous Second Son, I had 500, I think, 600 maybe. Whatever. I'm just I take a lot of screenshots, man. I like sharing it. I don't. To me, it's the idea of sharing, because it's the same to me. Taking screenshots is the same as like talking about a game, except better because I get to show people cool little screens of you know what I was playing and stuff. But I mean, ever since I was a kid, I would always talk about games and describe them or whatever, and it's hard to describe. Just I don't know. I'm hard for me, anyways. Not. It's just easier to show a screenshot, right? I guess. Because if I were to describe a game to somebody, I wouldn't describe them this image. You know what? I would describe like the gameplay, the story, the you know whatever stuff like that. But I wouldn't actually like try to give you details of a certain scene, right? You know what I mean, right? So that's what I like about being able to take screenshots and share them and stuff like that. But yeah, so I don't remember why I wanted to make a video. Oh, you know what it was? I think it was like, I was thinking about it, I was writing a little bit of notes because I'm playing through the game, and I don't think I'm going to end up doing like a review or anything like that. But I did want to talk about it because I was like, this game is freaking cool, man. I'm having a lot of fun. It's beautiful, and it's just cool. So I wanted to share it. Yeah, sometimes, not always, but sometimes I'll take like a few screenshots in the same scene just to try to make sure I get a good one. Because depending on how it's going, this game so far hasn't blurred on me during like action shots. Like I haven't taken a lot of like machine gun shots because I'm usually using the sniper rifle, so I'm usually getting kill cam shots. This was cool. I thought this was really cool because this was a kill cam. The bullet is in the center of the screen there, right in front of his head. But I thought it was cool because this is one of the kill cams that shows like a bunch of enemies at once. Most kill cams you don't see like that many enemies, depending on the level, of course. But you know, so that's why I liked that one. I was like, damn, there's a lot of enemies on the screen, so I really liked that shot. That was cool. Oh yeah, the shotgun. Shotgun's fun. My favorite shotgun in a game, I have a few, but Tomb Raider is still my favorite. The Tomb Raider reboot, the first Tomb Raider reboot. The shotgun in that game, wow, man. Have you played that? Do you remember the shotgun in Tomb Raider? That shotgun is crazy, dude. Like, oh my gosh, that's nuts. Yeah, I like this one. I still have a lot more screenshots to go through, man. Jeez. Yeah, so I upload mostly I upload on Discord mostly. I share a few on Twitter, but it's a throwaway account that I'm shadow banned on my throwaway account. It's hilarious that I'm shadow banned on a throwaway account. I could say like they do that because I'm already banned or whatever, but it's whatever. The whole system is so just stupid, man. Anyways. So this one I thought was cool. I like the ones with the gunfire coming out. It looks cool, right? Like the effect on it, right? It looks really cool. And on this one, you can see the bullet kind of slow coming out. And I had a few of this one because then this was a second shot. It's not even the same shot, right? Like this was one zombie kill on this screen, and then a second later. Like I was over here because he was well, I don't remember where he was. He might have been I can't even tell where he was here, but this was like one right after another. So was he just like right behind the wall there or something? Anyways, yeah, it's not even the same kill cam, right? Because the kill cam will like rotate and move and whatever, but these are two different kill cams in the same like spot. But I liked the one where the zombie was behind me. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then that one, I just liked it more for the environment. Like this one was cool for the gunfire, and then this one's cool for more environment. I thought that was neat. Give me a sec. Yeah, the machine gunner zombie guys. The first time I encountered those guys, they are tough, like, but you get used to them. You get used to how they act, and if you're able to, keeping a distance is the easiest way to fight them, which makes sense because you usually do that anyways for the whole game. But especially those gunner guys, man. Oh, the skeleton guys are funny. Dude, I accidentally found out how easy the skeletons are to kill because like I think I was trying to avoid like a pack of enemies or whatever. One of the skeletons was there. So I used my kick on it because I was expecting to like push it away and then like keep moving, but the kick, you use the kick on the skeletons and it instantly kills them. And I was like, oh, that's easy, because there'll be here and there'll be parts where you gotta fight like 10 to 20 little skeletons and you just kick them all. It's so funny, man. I think that's really funny. Because they do have like a weak point. They have like their little heart showing through their, you know, bones and whatever, but all you have to do is kick them. I think that's cool though. Like I like that. I think that's neat. Because they could have easily made them harder and impossible to kill without hitting that special spot, but that would have sucked. I like that you can just kick them down. Oh, pro tip, right? Spoiler trick, whatever. Yeah, see there, you can see the bullet right in front of his left eye. And you only I know this from having taken many screenshots of many different games. If you don't know what you're looking for, you won't see what the person who took the screenshot saw, right? Depending. So for example, this one, I would not be looking for the bullet in front of like in the character in the middle of the screen here. The bullet's in front of his left eye. But I would have assumed that was trash or some weird like effect in the shot if I didn't know what it was because I took the shot, right? And anybody that's used to the game and knows would recognize too. But if you're just looking at a screenshot, you know, right? It's interesting. I found that interesting though, because I accidentally found that out one time just looking at people's screenshots, and I was like, oh, I didn't notice that, you know. I think because I think they had pointed something out, and it was something that I would not have noticed if they had not pointed it out. And I was like, oh man, because normally what I've always thought of screenshots is like it's obvious what you're looking at in most cases, right? Like it's obvious what you're looking at, but sometimes there are these subtleties in these images in any screen or whatever. Sometimes these little things that you might miss, you know, like so I don't know, that's cool, whatever. Yeah, this game is fun, man. The only thing I'm so glad the CPU like core change thing works. I've had some games where I played and I try to follow them and I don't play them because like the fixes don't work. And sometimes this was funny. I was sniping at one of the flying sniper guys, and he shot me right before I shot at him. So it has that streak from him at me. I just think that was funny. That's a funny shot. No bastard. That's cool. I like the background there. It's a very pretty game, man. It reminds me that I was talking about. There's a game called Soul Slinger, and I was on the Discord, still in it, but I was talking. Somebody had said something, and I said I thought the graphics in Soul Slinger were beautiful because I do. I think Soul Slinger is a really pretty game. And he said, and he laughed, and he said like, "What? This is from like 20 years ago." And I'm like, "What?" I suppose I like, and I was looking at it, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I could see why he would say that, just style-wise or whatever. But it's still beautiful. Like it's still a beautiful. Like I don't know, man. I don't get it. I think you know what it is. One thing too. Maybe he just prefers photorealism. I do not. I don't prefer. Like I don't want every game to look real. I don't want it to look like real life. That's what. It drives me nuts, man. I hate Red Dead Redemption 2, man, and not even because the visuals. I love the visuals in that game. I hate the gameplay. They made it too realistic. So they try to make I was just like, what the frick? I want to play the game, stupid. Not like. Anyways. Yeah, I don't need realism in my games. I can be impressed by it, and I can think it's cool, but I don't want it or need it. Like I prefer fantasy. I like Kingdoms of Amalur. One of my I compare that to Skyrim, or you know, because they're very similar games. But Skyrim looks more realistic in comparison visually. Skyrim would be the more realistic one, where Kingdoms of Amalur is more cartoony. But I love that look, that artwork in Kingdoms of Amalur. Oh, that's a cool shot. I like this one too. That's why I was sitting there. Like I like that you can see the bullet here too in the center. It's a pretty good shot. It's a good scene. But yeah, no, I prefer. I mean, I don't need cartoony or realistic. That's the thing. Like, I like a good game. You know what I mean? Like, the visuals I will notice, and they do matter to me. I'm never gonna say graphics don't matter. I think people that say that are flat out stupid. But whatever. Because it's one thing to say like, I don't need the graphics to be good, but to say they don't matter at all is just stupid. It's just stupid. It's, if you were to read comic books, are you going to read a comic book with stick figures or a comic book with real art? You know, and I'm not saying the stick figure one ain't going to be entertaining. I'm not saying that. The stick figure one could be very funny, very entertaining, and even better than that one. But what's going to grab my eye attention first, man, is going to be the better art. Like, just people that say it doesn't matter make me laugh. I think they're silly. But anyways, yeah, I like the visuals, man. Like, look at that, man. When I saw that, I was like, damn. And with the sky, the clouds moving and stuff too, you can see this kind of like breeze going on, even with the like fog and stuff. Like, it's so beautiful, man. It's similar with like any game where you take a screenshot of like a waterfall, right? Dude, there's so many games that take screenshots of waterfalls. I'm like, this is incredible. It's so beautiful. And then I look at the screenshot and I'm like, yeah, it's a cool screenshot. It's pretty, but it's nothing compared to when you see it in animated, right? Like when you see it moving, the life of it. A moving waterfall is much prettier than a still waterfall, you know, right? Like, so that's funny. That's just funny to me because animations do make a difference there. It just, you know, whatever, not a big deal. It's just funny. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So the bosses in this game are kind of cool. So far I've noticed, because I finally fought like a couple bosses. The machine gunner guy is like just a stronger enemy, but there's some bosses too. So far what I've noticed is that you really just have to, like where the boss is, a bunch of enemies will spawn and stuff, but like skulls float around the boss and all you do is shoot the skulls that float around them. I've done that on a couple bosses so far, and I'm guessing that might just be their main mechanic or whatever. I just like this scene, so that you see a bolt in the center of the screen there, but you might not even see it if you're not looking for it. It might just, like, right, if I don't point that out, would you have seen that? Maybe. But like it looks like just an environmental shot, right? But that's the following the bullet. Yeah, this is a cool and pretty game, man. Oh, I just remembered right now. There's a website that I haven't been uploading. That's what I need to do. I did find out about a new virtual photography website that is cool. I like it. I've checked it out. I've uploaded a couple things, but I haven't regularly used it. And I just right now remembered I need to start using it again. So that is my last screenshot of this. So I'm going to end now. That's why I was just remembering this. Because I used to upload everything to Facebook, right? That's what I used to do. I said thousands upon thousands of screenshots on there. But I'm no longer doing that, and I don't plan to ever again. I'm not planning to make a new account there. I wasn't even planning to make a new account on Twitter. I forget why I did. I know I had a reason. I had a reason because like I didn't make a new account on Twitter for months after I got banned. I was like, whatever, stupid crap. And there was something that made me like want to. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was a giveaway. I don't think it was a giveaway though. I think I just wanted to follow somebody. I don't know. It's been a while, and whatever made me create an account doesn't matter anymore. Like it's gone. I don't. Especially after experiencing that website the way it is now. I thought it was bad before, dude. I thought it was bad before. Oh my God. I don't. Do you, maybe, I don't know if you use it, if you use Twitter and whatever, I don't know what you use, but something I've noticed even on YouTube, just generally anywhere I go and I search for stuff, anywhere, I'm seeing the same stuff, the same every day for weeks and months. It's showing me the same stuff I saw a week ago. It's showing me the same stuff I saw yesterday. It's showing me the same stuff like over and over and over. I can't see anything new and different. There's nothing. There's porn bots, crypto bots, and the same exact post that they just keep. I'm just like, what? Anyways, okay. So Zombie Army Trilogy, very fun game, beautiful game. I hope you enjoyed the screenshots and whatever. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye. Take care. Good luck.